Alright guys, welcome to the podcast. This is called 2 Up. This is where we give our 2 cents on world events. Keep you guys in the know, have a bit of a yarn, have a few beers, have a few laughs.
Exactly. We've been on a current hiatus recently due to an unfortunate event which happened recently. Let's say that we were out at a place, a property, which we go to fairly frequently, drinking some beers, riding some bikes and going a bit of hunting or whatever. Unfortunately, someone decided to try and learn how to ride a motorbike on, what is it, a KTM?
Yeah, the 300 EXC. So you've never ridden a bike ever?
Never
touched two wheels?
Never two wheels. Quad bikes and what wheels?
Yeah,
Four wheels?
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I thought it would be a good idea to, have a crack on the bike, see how you go.
Well, it's got that automatic transition
it's
on
got
it.
a recluse in it. But I think I said to someone there, I said, give him 60 seconds and he's going to whiskey throttle it straight into the bushes. And I think he probably did it in 45 seconds. So
Yeah,
I was a bit off the money, but...
So I was pottering around in this paddock and in second gear, just getting used to it. And then one of the boys was like waving to me, trying to give me some advice. And turns out as I was on my way down the hill to hear what he was talking about, I just squeezed the throttle as fucking hard as I could and went straight into a pile of bushes. Oh, yep, my first wheelie.
One leg, one arm, fucking back wheel, flying like fucking Superman.
Yeah, and it ended up resulting in...
Yeah, what were the injuries?
So I had...
I'll add some photos in.
Yeah, we'll put some photos into this. I ended up being unconscious for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Had a mild concussion, broke 2 ribs, lacerated my spleen, broke my big toe in 2 places, and I bruised my right arse cheek where it was pretty much black.
Yeah, no, it was...
A 3-inch tear in my right gluteus maximus. So, yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the bike, seeing the speedometer, it was like 43 kilometres. I remember being up on one wheel, and the next thing I remember is being winded, waking up to someone saying, "Are you okay, dude?" in the bushes. So,
and it was one of those really shitty, those like when weeds grow and there's a real spiky fucking...
Dude, I've been pulling all these thorns out of my hands still for like the last week.
I remember I went to grab the bike on the ground and I just went and grabbed it under the back fender and it's like all across my fingers are just spikes.
Yeah, so I didn't pick the best place to land, but I didn't break my neck because...
Well, you sort of thread the needle a little bit because to your right was a fucking porter shit house, like a shit house.
Yeah, literally an outhouse.
Which would have been not good, and then to the left was a big fuck off tree.
Yeah,
so...
I mean, and plus to hit the line, to hit the bushes where I did, was in between 2 massive ruts. So, I mean, it's the best possible outcome, seeing as the only protective gear I was wearing was shoes. I decided to take my thongs off and put some shoes on, which is some good advice.
Runners at that.
Yeah, my Nikes.
Not boots.
Yeah. And and been copping a lot of shit from everyone saying, "Why weren't you wearing a helmet?" Well, dude, it was hot.
Obviously, we can't condone not wearing safety equipment, but...
I mean, look, there is a lesson learned here, people. If you're riding a bike for the first time, definitely recommend chucking on some safety kit because I got very lucky, but...
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was alright. That's 4 days in hospital. Yeah. Anyways.
We live and we learn.
we said, at least don't make the same mistake twice,
Yeah, the bike was okay.
Yeah, that was my main worry.
Yeah.
As soon as everyone's waking me up, I was catching my breath sort of thing. I'm like, fuck, is his bike okay? And I was like, just chill, dude, chill.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. So that's not a cheap bike. Like.
No, well, no, it's fine. Like, and there was a bent, like the rear subframe was bent, but I don't know, I sat on that for 20 minutes having my morning coffee and it bent it back into shape, so...
Beautiful.
I got some photos of that, but...
Yeah.
No, it was all good.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I walked it off, and when another day, we went out riding again on the quad bikes and stuff, I thought, oh yeah, a bit ginger, a bit sore, and a couple of beers fixed that up, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't until I came home, started pissing blood, I thought, oh, there could be an issue here.
Yeah, that's where it's been blue.
Yeah, but we're good. I mean, good health, so we're back at it. Ukraine.
Well, yeah, so obviously this is our first episode, but we did shoot a pilot a few weeks ago, about a week after the invasion of Ukraine. So it would have been, I don't know, the 30th, 1st March, something like that.
Yeah.
The war hasn't progressed particularly
No, it's shocking. Yeah, I mean, you gave them a week. You said a week.
I don't even
10
think it was a
days.
week. I think it
Yeah.
was like 4 days.
Yeah.
I thought Kiev would fall.
Yeah, and now we're into probably about a month into the invasion now, and they're still.
Well, a month, about 5 weeks.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, my favourite story to come out of this recently is the Russian tank commander who drove to the Ukrainian front line with his tank and said, "Give me $10,000 in Ukrainian citizenship, and you can have this tank. It's all yours."
Yeah, well, there was also, obviously, I can't confirm how accurate it is, but news reports are never.
Yeah, we'll get that fact checked.
Yeah. It was a statement to Russian fighter pilots or pilots in general saying, hey, look, I think it was fly the jet to Poland or
Yeah,
to
it would have been somewhere.
an agreed upon location saying hand the jet over, we'll give you $1 million depending on what the aerial platform is. I think helicopters probably would have got a bit less, or Su-25s would have got a bit less. Shit.
I mean,
If you don't want to be there, you want to collect $1 million and don't have to get shot down, why not?
I think that just emphasises right now the point of the Russian troops, the demoralisation. There was another. I don't know what's going on in these tank corps, by the way, but a Russian tank driver ran over a colonel, just drove straight over him. He suffered massive leg trauma and evacuated back to Russia. They've lost 7 generals.
Yeah, seen that.
Yeah, so I mean, the Ukrainians are tough bastards.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of heavy fighting on the outskirts of Kiev at the moment. I think Mariupol, which is down the south, that's been encircled by Russian forces. Apparently, it's still standing strong, but for how long, who knows? There's been a lot of indiscriminate bombing of civilian targets.
Yeah, they actually it was the mall or something, a big shopping centre in Kiev, which they said.
Yeah, so there was satellite images of Ukraine military vehicles being held there.
The justification for the strike was it was holding ammunition and weapons sort of depot kind of thing.
Well, I think the story goes that they tracked a military vehicle through a drone back there.
Right, okay.
And then said, hey, let's put a cruise missile in it, sort of thing.
Ooh, the level.
I don't know if it was a Caliber cruise missile or what it was, but it leveled the place. There was also the missile that hit the theatre in Mariupol. I think it was 300 civilians that were in there, and they even had painted on the road outside, children, sort of thing. And they thought, well, no.
This is a makeshift garrison. Yeah. No, but I mean, props. Like a lot of people, you see these random news stories. They're kind of like an ex-British SAS sniper or something like that's going over the fight.
A lot of ex-US SF dudes are.
There's dudes discharging from the military. Yeah, even the Australian Defence Force had to put out a DEFGRAM, so that, like a sort of in-house memo saying no one go AWOL and go to Ukraine, because if you're still part of the Australian Armed Forces, this can be seen as an act of war. I mean, if you do it, you're a hard cunt, go for it. Yeah.
Well, I think there was also a lot of things saying that the Russians had intelligence and a capability waiting for dudes. As soon as they crossed the border, 15 k's from the border, they was already pre-targeted, ready to go. So you'll get snatched, and there was a statement saying that you wouldn't be treated as a person under capture or like a war criminal or whatever. So it basically meant they could do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There was a special assignment of the Spetsnaz, which were pretty much trying to, everyone knows how to get there now. So they're like, all right, sweet, we'll just pick you up. And I don't know, I don't really fancy spending much time out in Russia, a gulag in Siberia.
Well, that's even if you made it there.
Yeah.
You might make it there with a hand missing and a leg missing or something. Build a railway in our cunt.
Yeah, but me, dude, I literally don't know anything. Tell us, trust me, I would sell my team out for a sausage sizzle and a can of Coke. I don't know anything, dude.
With 5 weeks in, there seems to be a bit of a stall. We've seen Russia resorting to siege tactics. The logistical areas in the beginning of the invasion, and I would only assume continuing to today, shit running out of fuel, out of ammo, out of food.
Frostbite as well. Like there's some.
Yes,
They've had -6, -10 degree temperatures for over the last week and a bit, and soldiers are suffering. They can't really.
If you can't turn the vehicle on to get some heat going or whatever. If you can't light a fire, if you can't,
Yeah, so it's really, really good exhibition of like modern conventional warfare. I feel like in the hybrid space, going from different zones into like you got your open sort of rural sort of areas, and you got your built up door to door sort of Fallujah style stuff. So
it's conventional for now, but I think realistically, what's the end goal? I mean, say Russia take every city in the Ukraine, well, great, now you got an insurgency on your hands.
Oh, exactly.
How'd that go in Afghanistan for them? How'd it go for us? How'd Vietnam go for us? It was fighting an insurgency is, well, I don't think anyone's successfully done it really.
No.
So, I mean, they bombed the shit out of Chechnya, but...
So they lost about 15,000 troops in the 80s assault on Afghanistan when they first went in there, and they've lost 15,000 now in Ukraine. So they're sort of, are they changing their tactics? I don't know. The demoralisation for me, that's a key thing.
Well, I mean, half of them don't want to be there. There's been reports of people like piercing their own fuel tanks to run out of fuel, so they haven't got to go, haven't got to fight, haven't got to get to the front line of troops, or so. I mean, how good it would be to be a Ukrainian farmer at the moment?
If you've got a tractor in Ukraine, you are making serious money. There's so many tanks, you see it every other day, even like BRDMs, BDR3s, just all these vehicles. It's great.
Help me, step tractor, I'm stuck.
Yeah. My favourite video so far of the whole thing was, I think it was that BRDM, the ACP, APC, the Armoured Personnel Carrier, broken down on the side of the road with no fuel. And then these two Ukrainian blokes pull up and be like, oh, trying to give you a tow back to Russia? Where are you going? And the Russians like, haven't you seen the news? We're going to Kiev, fuck off. And then the dude's like, no, without any fuel, you're not.
There was and it's interesting, the propaganda that you see coming out of the Ukraine conflict is like, I've seen on multiple different. I mean, if you want to follow the conflict, there's heaps of telegrams that have sort of unbiased reporting. But then you see you'll see a burning aircraft on the ground, and then one side will say it's a Russian Su-31, one will say it's a Ukrainian
MiG-21,
all that sort of stuff. It's a bit hard to dispute when the next video is of the pilot who is clearly Russian saying, "Hey, sorry,"
and he's being held captive.
But I mean, have you heard the stories coming out? I think about 2 weeks ago, these stories started coming out of the biolabs in Ukraine that were American run.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah,
that's interesting because I think Russia wanted to use that as a like a false flag sort of operation where they can be like, oh well, now we're authorized to use biological weapons because there's the threat.
I did read today actually that Russia has promised or said that they're not going to use any nuclear weapons unless there is a direct threat on their sovereignty, being Russia. But if they're claiming sovereignty in Ukraine, and then that's not a direct threat with people counterattacking that, is that in the green light to use not ICBMs or anything like that, like intercontinental ballistic missiles, but tactical battlefield nuclear weapons or vacuum bombs like we could see.
Yeah, well, see, that doesn't make sense because they're like, we're not going to use nuclear deterrent unless we're under direct threat. One of the reasons Putin used for invading was the existence of Ukraine, and modern Ukraine is a threat to the development of Russia. So I don't know, man.
Your 6-year-old analogy, that was too good for me. Yeah. So in other headlines, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, you would have seen Will Smith give the world's biggest bitch slap to Chris Rock. I mean, okay.
Okay, let's imagine you're Will Smith.
All right.
Imagine you're married, loosely married, I don't know what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And,
This is 2022, can't judge.
You can judge.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, frequently.
You're Will Smith and someone said, hey, your wife's got short hair.
Yep.
What's your reaction?
Yeah, she does, dude. In front of hundreds of millions of people watching live, in the biggest names of Hollywood are all there. He fucking exploded. Got up and then...
Oh, he laughed at it originally.
Yeah,
It's like he just fucking split personality.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna laugh this off. No, I'm not. Come to you.
But, dude, like, the shit that he could have said compared to what he said was just so mild, you know.
I mean,
And you got all these fucking people who are like, oh, he's stuck up for his wife, how good is he? Like, dude, he watches his wife fuck other dudes, like...
yeah, I mean, it's funny just to see the divide in society. A lot of people, like you said, are like, oh, yeah, good on him, he stood up for his wife, you know. The same people who would be like, oh, there shouldn't be any wars or no violence or whatever. And then the other side, like us, who've been like, come on, dude, like, she literally admitted to fucking his eldest son's friend, who's some rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
you know.
all of a sudden, oh yeah, no, it's alright, we're in an open marriage. I mean, I guess she made the call. Hey, Will, we're...
She's in an open marriage.
Yeah. He's like, okay, guess we're in an open marriage now. Like,
Yeah, that's a strange relation. It's a strange... The whole thing was strange, you know, like...
yeah. And the funny thing is, he got up and won his first Oscar for Best Actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, you know, moments later. And then this big apology on Instagram.
it wasn't to Chris Rock, though. It was to the Academy.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's big apology, big sort of, it's not how I should behave, blah, 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 sort of thing.
Love makes you do crazy things.
Yeah, I mean,
Like other dudes.
yeah, I just don't, to me, it just makes zero sense at all that, first of all, allegedly, Chris Rock didn't even know about his wife's medical condition, alopecia, whatever it's called. You know, I mean, sometimes black women will rock weird hairdo. I mean, look at Whoopi Goldberg, for example. Dude looks like fucking Predator. But the fact that she's just sort of like, no, she's not happy, blah, blah, blah. And to go up there, like, it's a long walk. So he's like, well, as soon as he gets up, he's like, all right, no, I'm sticking with this decision.
Yeah.
And then...
There's no turning back now.
I mean, it wasn't a punch though, which is interesting. And
Do you think it was staged?
I don't, but it wouldn't surprise me. Because, you know, it is Hollywood.
That slap was textbook, though.
Oh, yeah.
Even had like this hand cocked ready for like a second.
Yeah.
It
He had
wasn't
himself
even
like up in like a protector.
It was just like-
yeah.
ready to go again.
I mean, so the LAPD released a statement and they said they were aware of an altercation between two males at the like we can guess who that is. Two males at the an event in Los Angeles. Neither one's decided to press charges. So I think that makes Chris Rock look a bit hard and say, "Ain't a snitch, bro." Like,
Yeah. Well, he had good professionalism.
yeah,
You know,
cool.
he just carried on and was like, all right, you know.
He was rattled and he goes, "Damn, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me."
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you react though?
I mean,
Like, do you fucking chase him and start landing a beat down, or like?
see, if it was staged, I think there would have had to have been some sort of comeback from.
He was taken aback by it. You know, I don't think he expected for a second that was going to get to that point. Like,
No, yeah.
because but the thing is, if you watch him, he's like, oh, he's coming, and he just leans in, like he's like, what are you gonna do? You know?
Like maybe he was trying to hear him say something, but no, and then Smith walks all the way back, quite calmly, mind you, sits down, and then starts screaming.
It wasn't audible in America apparently,
Oh, really?
but here and a lot of like the
On the broadcast.
yeah, apparently they cut audio, but not here they didn't.
No,
Not
yeah.
on all the fucking.
Yeah,
witness
Channel
accounts,
7, I
yeah.
think, was broadcasting it, and keep your wife's name out of my fucking mouth, or out of your fucking mouth, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well,
fucking wild, you know.
yeah, well, you know, it's Hollywood, you know, fucking.
Yeah,
Whatever.
maybe he was fucking coming down from some coke, hadn't been in the bathroom in a little while, a bit of coke rage coming on. But no, I mean, yeah, I guess.
I think it goes to show as well, you know, like you're rich and famous, you can do whatever the fuck you want, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's all well and good, you know. And not that it's a particularly heinous crime or anything, you know. It was a slap.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I don't know, man. It's fucking.
Because it was like a fucking check right hook or something like that.
Or like a fucking just pulled a knife or something.
Yeah. What's that Tupac meme?
Yeah, like Tupac would have shot him, babe.
100%. I mean, no, look, it was a hectic moment and it's taken over a lot of the headlines, but it has instantly, the internet, the place it is so good. because he's turned into a meme. Oh, and that makes me think, what are some other events which has just instantly been memed? Like, I think one I can think back to is the Zuckerberg Congress trial sort of thing. So, and like he blinks and then like he grabs water and goes, yeah, humans drink water, like he's a lizard person sort of thing. But God, the using as fast food.
The one that stands out to me was coronavirus. Because I saw the memes before I even fucking knew what coronavirus was.
Yeah.
It was like, what goes on with coronavirus? Oh, Lyme disease. Like it's, and I was like, what the?
That's good.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Is a shit meme. Like, what the fuck is coronavirus? And then like 2 months later, we're all locked down.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Well, I mean, I was in Queensland at the time, so we did not take that shit seriously at all. And it wasn't until they actually opened the border, I think it was last year, where Queensland fully got hit by it. Got you guys down here in New South Wales locked down for fucking in and out of lockdowns for ages.
Melbourne copped the worst, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we had about a 4-month straight lockdown.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Jesus Christ, that would have driven me crazy.
Yeah.
No, the longest lockdown I did was 10 days. But I was at work all the time, essential work. But the longest actual lockdown I did was 7 days in a house. And that's when like, all right, everybody's got to sort of chill. I was living with housemates, shout out to Jeremy at the time. And so we decided, all right, we know we're going to get locked down. Let's go to the bottle up and stock up. And then there wasn't even limits on toilet paper or anything at this stage, but you could only get 2 cartons of beer per person. So we ended up going through everything. Like
that's my fucking day ruined.
Yeah, a couple of cartons of beer, some vodka, some gin, and then like we're just buying random shit. Like, well, what are we going to do for 7 days if we're locked down? Well, we're going to play Call of Duty and day drink at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, why not?
So, but just Mark Zuckerberg's releasing this metaverse, but I think the memeverse carries more weight because you fuck anything up on
on a world stage, prepare to be memed.
Yeah. And like the things you see coming in, like they're fucking hilarious.
Oh, there's some really good ones. I'll throw some up.
Yeah, we'll chuck our favourites up in
here. Yeah. I think last 48 hours. Favorite meme from Will Smith, Chris Rock. What's it got to be?
I'll put it in about here.
And then I'll put mine in now, and we'll leave a comment down below.
And then make your own. I see. I don't make my own. Like, I'm too busy to play out just rolling through screen like reels and stuff on Instagram. Yeah, I'm one of those people that doesn't have a TikTok because I'm too mature for TikTok. But I see all the old TikToks on my Instagram feed.
What about the money that people are making on TikTok? The money people are making on fucking...
Oh, it's like, there's like 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds on YouTube making millions of dollars a month. You know? Here we are having to work for our money. Sort of.
Yeah. Loosely.
Loosely.
It's a very loose term. Another thing as well with... you mentioned previously on how quickly the media just jumps ship from thing to thing to thing. Yeah. And we've got the biggest conflict since the Second World War in Europe happening right now.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Will Smith's all over the headlines.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how. Like, what the fuck's to go with that? You know.
We've gone from COVID, Ukraine. They're shoving it all down our throats. But then everything you look up on news.com, 3 different articles about the Will Smith incident, like. The flavour of the day sort of thing. But it's just like, literally, when we're in our COVID crisis, the US Department of Defense released declassified all this shit about UFOs, and everyone was like, damn, I still don't want to wear a mask though. Fuck vaccinations.
Yeah. Never mind that aliens could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, they did a social experiment on how people would react.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, sick, fuck off with the jab.
Yeah. I mean, I got my 3rd dose of Pfizer yesterday. Feel absolutely shit today, but it feels like I come off the bike again, to be honest. You know, I did not wake up feeling well, but yeah, it was a couple of beers to fix that. But
Okay, well, we've spoken about how quickly the media jumps onto news headlines. Let's jump into some things that don't make the news headlines, or conspiracy theories. So one thing that goes hand in hand with day drinking and, you know, fucking solving all the world's problems,
which we do,
is conspiracy theories.
You give us a problem, don't worry, we'll solve it.
Yeah, there's a fix for everything.
Yeah, well, there is some fucking pearlers out there. My favourite one has to be, I don't go into this by the way at all, birds aren't real. Because, like, and the justification behind it is, do you ever see a bird fly at night? I mean, well, I see bats fly at night. I don't see a bird. I mean, okay, good, fair point. I mean, it's probably because it's fucking dark.
Yeah, because you can't fucking see anything.
Yeah, maybe because they've gone to bed. Like. However, I have two stories, right, which can consequentially just debunk this.
Birds are most definitely
Birds
real.
are fucking real. Alright, so the first one was back in 2012. I was down at Puckapunyal military base, just doing my initial employment training. And I had a choice. There's two routes you can walk from our barracks. You can go up the roads like 5Ks to get to the pizza shop and, you know, the grocery store, whatever. Or there's a back way you can take. It's about 3 kilometers. And I thought, work smarter, not harder. 3K route it is. And it's just like through this bush track. It's kind of next to another school where they train all the armoured people and cavalry. And so I'm walking, minding my own business. You know, it's about 5 o'clock. It's still sunny down in Victoria in the summer there. And for the first time in my life, I've seen a whole bunch of baby emus, right? And if you've never seen a bunch of baby emus, they're about yay fucking big. They look like a big fluffy football. They kind of look a bit ugly, but I was like, damn, there's a whole heap of them. I was like, all right, cool, they're going my way. I'm gonna follow these guys for a little bit. Then lo and behold, fuck me. So I'm about 1/4 up this hill. It's the only shit hill you have to kind of go up.
Yeah.
And I hear this squawking. I'm like, okay.
That ain't no fucking baby.
Yeah, turn my back. Well, there was Mama Emu, right? And Mama Emu is trying to
Was it a mama emu or was it the daddy emu?
whatever it was a fucking big dude. I didn't have time to check.
It was big emu.
Yeah, big fucking scary motherfucker. I just say if I had balls or nothing like that. I'm like, anyways, so this thing's bigger than me. And back then I was a little bit lighter, a bit faster on my feet. So I had a set of wheels back then. And it's making all these fucking noise and it's flapping and squawking. And then it hits the legs. And then I've just gone, what the fuck's this thing doing? Oh shit.
It's gone full pitbull.
You know that oh shit no?
Yeah.
Or the fight or flight?
Yeah, it's almost like this isn't fucking real.
I decided to fight. I'm not fighting this motherfucking velociraptor.
Yeah.
So I start legging it, bro, and I'm hitting the legs. I'm running full belt. And this thing's gaining on me. Look over there, I'm like, oh fuck, this thing's faster than Usain Bolt. Anyways, there's no way I was going to outpace this thing. Like, endurance-wise, but he had the speed, man. So, they had one other option. Look to my right. There's a chain link fence, but it's got razor wire, barbed wire all over the top of it. So, I just yeeted myself over that fence, cut myself up, hit the deck, start panning. And the emu didn't stop there, bro. So the emu sort of like squared up to me when I'm leaning over this fence. Also, I tripped an alarm on the base as well, which was sweet. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, so I dust myself off, got a couple of scrapes, whatever. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you, emu. And then come up right to the fence and was like, yeah, give it a bit of lip. And then the thing like kicks the fence. It scares the shit out of me. It's like, wait, why did this thing get over the fence? And then I'm stuck in a cage. So, luckily enough, I did trip the base alarm. And then, yeah, a couple of the military police officers arrived. And here I am covered in blood. And like, guys, I have a fucking story to tell you. But if that's not enough evidence for you, second time, right? So, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bird attack fucking magnet. I was in Cali Beach, so that's about, I don't know, a couple of hours north of town, so we were doing a military exercise, 2013, you know, almost a year to the day.
Fun fact.
Yeah, but maybe it's just a season. And I was a junior soldier in a forward observing party, so they're like, yep, take the rubbish to the bin. Like, yeah, cool, whatever, I'll take the fucking rubbish to the bin. Fuck you guys. Like, anyway, so they've got 2 full rubbish bags. Bin is like a skip bin. There's a couple of them lined up fucking ages away. So it's like when I say ages, like a 1.2k walk, whatever. So I'm taking this shit to the bin, just kicking stones, whatever. And then eating out of the bin is a fucking cassowary.
Yeah, and for you guys that don't know what a fucking cassowary is, I'll put some photos and videos up. I think they're regarded as the most dangerous bird in the world.
They most definitely are. Aggressive at least.
Yeah.
They're if emus or velociraptor, this thing's a fucking Tyrannosaurus. Anyway, so I'm still
being half the size.
still a little bit quick on the feet back then. Not so much as I was in 2012, but so I've gone and this thing's eaten out of the bin. It's minding its own business. I'm minding my own business. We're just walking, and then he sort of takes his fucking long ass giraffe neck out of the bin, looks me square in my eyes. I'm looking at him. Got 2 rubbish bags. Hey man, don't want no trouble. I'm just trying to put the rubbish in the bin, giving you more food, potentially.
Well, I don't think he took it that way.
He fucking didn't. He definitely did not. You know what he done? He turned around, and they have like kind of longer feathers, I think, than the emu, because they do the whole, flapping your arms sort of thing. But this thing was kicking the ground like a bull. Like it was fucking weird. And
his weird fucking backwards knees and shit.
And the squawking on that thing is far more terrifying than an emu. I'll tell you what.
Well, they've got the eyes that just fucking look straight through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here I am, face to face, probably about, if I had to guess, it was a traumatic experience, so I've kind of blocked it out. 200, 250 meters away. I'm like, okay, cool, clear, open ground. He comes, he starts, he wants some, he's having a crack. So my immediate response is to fucking launch the 2 garbage bags straight at it, turn around and hit the legs. And again, I'll find myself in this situation where I'm having to fucking run and I'm looking for a place to escape. Luckily for me, about 100 meters in front of me, where the way I was running was one of those old Unimog trucks, How the canvas was like loosely open, but the tray was up. So that's like an 8 foot gap.
Yeah, it's tall.
So I've just had one look at this, and again, I've just yanked myself into this, and I fucking shit you not. Hand on heart, it was full of star pickets, barbed wire, dannet wire, and hand tools. So once again, I found myself in this position where I'm fucking cut up from another bird attack, and I thought, fuck this cassowary. And, it's just shorter than the height I was at. And so I go to look after like a couple of seconds, and then it's right there, he's standing there, dude, and it is like going nuts at this canvas. So I'm like, shit, what do I do? I was in there for like 20 minutes until someone like fucked it off. And I come back probably after this whole ordeal, 35 minutes later, back to where we were staying, like a hoochie set up. And the guys go, what took you so long? Fuck you guys, I'm not taking this rubbish out again. So I think we can definitely debunk that. Birds are real and they're fucking terrifying. Don't you worry about that. I mean,
fuck that.
Yeah. Like, it's scary enough getting swooped by a mag. Like, why I find them so terrifying is, one, both these birds I got attacked with were land-based birds. These aren't birds that can fly.
Birds,
yeah. But you imagine if you weaponize them with flight, dude, that is a capability I do not have. They have the open match right there. So, yeah, fucking terrifying.
So, okay, conspiracy debunked, birds are fucking real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some of my favourite conspiracies have to be like China controls the weather. Have you heard that one?
No.
Yeah. So China has like a rain machine, like a magnetic. Yeah, and that's why we've had such shit weather recently, because China's turning on the weather control machine. That to me is pretty fucking crazy.
Fuck, I'd like to sit down with someone that actually believes that.
Yeah. Well, when I was playing golf last year, there was a guy at the golf club who said, "I'll give you $1,000 if anyone can prove to me that the world's round." He was a flat earther, full dead set flat earther, and I was like,
You ever been in a fucking plane?
Yeah,
mate?
I said, you ever been in a plane, dude? You see that curve, man? He goes, no, it's just the way that the light reflects off the sun, of the water, and it plays a trick in your eyes. Like, dude, the only trick in your eyes is your brain, man. Like,
which is fucking questionable if it's even in there.
yeah. I mean, like, what do flat earthers think? That if you just like keep walking one day, you're gonna fall off?
Well, where does it stop? Where does the fucking world stop?
I mean, like, I've got no answer.
Is the moon flat? Is the sun flat?
People believe the moon's not real. Yeah.
Well, what the fuck is that thing up in the sky then? Like, it's like one thing to be like, I don't believe it because I've never seen it. Like God, for example.
Yeah.
That's obviously not real.
Yeah, of course.
But you can look up and fucking see the cunt. Like, it's...
I don't know. Probably the same people that think we live in a simulation.
I like that conspiracy.
Yeah, but so what's that? That's the moon's the night light and the sun's the daylight. Like, you know. I just don't understand how you can't think. Like, okay, I understand people say, yeah, the moon landings were faked as a propaganda thing for the USSR to make them burn their budget, blah, blah, blah. Well, I get that. I mean,
that's got some weight to it. I mean, see, these, like, those conspiracies are the ones that are like, okay, I can sort of see both sides.
Yeah.
You know, like, the Earth, I definitely can't see both sides because it's fucking round.
No, exactly.
You know, or the moon is real, or, you know...
The thing is, we've got a fucking robotic helicopter on Mars.
Mm.
How do you think we don't have anything on the moon? Like, that's a fucking lot closer.
That's a good point. Well, gravity on the moon's different, so would it stay on the surface?
Well, it's just a flag in the ground.
Yeah. I don't know.
They have, I think the moon's roughly 1/3, 1/5. We'll get that fact checked actually. 1/3 of what we got on Earth. So that's why you see them hopping and shit. But yeah, I mean, people think the Earth's hollow. Like, is it because they cut open a tennis ball?
Yeah. I don't, like, what makes you think, like, okay, you're going through life, you're fucking having a great old time, whatever. Where is the moment where you're like, you know what, fuck this, the Earth's not fucking, it's fucking hollow? Like, what makes you think that? Like, what evidence is there to support?
Drugs.
Probably.
It has to be. I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I've dug a lot of holes.
You and me both.
We have dug a lot of fucking holes, and I tell you what, if the Earth was hollow, then shit, that stuff would have been way easier. That's
fucking mining pits. Like, you know, like there's the Mariana Trench. That's like what, 11 kilometers down, like 8 miles or something.
It's something insane. Yeah, I mean, well, you know what is crazy? This is a weird sort of to segue off this for a moment. There is so much about our own planet we don't understand.
Well, yeah, I think when they talk about the ocean, I think it's like less than 5% explored.
Yeah, and
I don't know how you measure that metric.
Yeah, I know. Probably the same. Look, but like if you think about it, they find new shit all the time. Like giant octopuses, not octopus, sorry, giant squids. They're a thing. Yeah, they found probably evidence of that. And like, you know, well, fuck, that's pretty sick. But imagine what else could be down there. I mean, it'd be fucking freaky.
Yeah, I mean,
deep sea doesn't. Going underwater, deep sea, no, not a fan.
Well, not only that, because it's not the shit that may be down there isn't the fucking threat. It's the fact that the pressure underwater, like, you know, I remember being in like a 10-meter pool, and I took like a basketball down to the bottom, and you could just like, it was like there was no air in it, and then you take it back up and it just reinflates. It's fucking strange because the air density the density is different.
Physics is weird. And
like, you know, they got like the deep sea explorers, and you know, like if you fucking had a beer can outside the craft, it'd just fucking like
I mean
because of the weight of the water on top.
What's the James Cameron? I think it was. Yeah, he went down in that massive little fucking thing straight down the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Like, I don't know what he got. Don't know why he did it.
To do it, that's why do fucking people swim the English Channel?
I mean, fuck swimming, right?
I swim like a set of keys.
I can swim, but
I don't know.
It's not like.
Especially living in Australia as well. Like, you think everyone thinks we're all fucking Olympic swimmers? Fucking
no,
fucking
absolutely
wrong.
not. Yeah, I mean, My formative years, like growing up out in west of Sydney, for those who don't know, we'll put a map up. But going to the beach was a mission. It was 2 trains, a couple of hours and stuff. And then, you buy a boogie board or whatever, go to Cronulla Beach, Manly Beach. My first experience of that, like when I was a teenager or whatever, going out there with my mates, Cronulla Beach, South Cronulla Beach. Just like one of my mates surfed, like rocking me on boogie boards, just playing a bit of beach footy. Got in the water, caught my first wave, came out covered in blue balls.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of the tourists like picking up blue balls and stuff like, oh, look at that cute
Oh, dude, I just don't like.
Put it down, love.
Yeah. Pick it up by the stringy end.
Or like the guy that's got like a blue ringed octopus like on his hand, and
Dude.
it's like, oh, look how pretty this is.
Oh, dude, I've seen that video on Instagram.
Yeah.
That freaked me the fuck out. So they're actually real tiny. I thought
Yeah,
they were like
that's
these
right.
big, but I didn't realize they're quite tiny. And it had its blue rings showing.
They're like pulse and stuff.
Yeah. But it didn't attack. Because the blue ring octopus is the most venomous thing in
The most venomous
world.
octopus, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well, we've got the twiopans, the most deadly snake. We've got the funnel web spider, the most deadly spider. Trust me, catteries are up there with the deadly.
Box jellyfish. I think that's the most deadliest thing in the sea.
Irukandji.
Which is a box jelly,
Yeah, those small little bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was up in Townsville, I could only go swimming in like this fucking net thing. Crocodiles as well. Yeah.
Those are dinosaurs. Like they're living dinosaurs. Yeah.
I had one experience with crocodiles in the world actually.
Mm.
I was out fishing. Barra season just opened in Townsville. So we're in an estuary, way north, like I can't even remember the name of the beach. And we're just fishing, trying to see the Barra coming out through high tide. Anyway, we decided to go down to the mud pits a little bit. That was our mistake because just across the bank, and across the bank's like 50, 60 metres, whatever, it's a massive estuary, not a mouth entering the river. And we're not catching anything. We've got that shitty lures, $40 PCF rods. And all of a sudden, we see splash across. Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, maybe we thought it might be another or a fish or something jumping. Then we look to our left, because we're in this mangrove sort of muddy bank thing, and we see all these sliding marks. And shit, you're not, dude. Just across where we saw the first splash, another one comes in. So that thing was littered full of crocs. So we checked down and fucked off out of there real quick. But I lost a thumb. So
well.
I mean, better losing a plugger than losing a foot, right? But still, that was a weird day.
Yeah, no, fuck the animals in this country.
Yeah,
but despite that, I mean, I feel like this country gets a little bit of shit from, don't go to Australia, it's got the dead. Yeah, it does, but fuck, how often do you see that stuff?
If you don't fuck with them, they'll leave you alone. I mean,
it's not a particularly nice experience fucking trudging through the bush for fucking 2 hours to see a crocodile and think, oh, why are you there?
I was in his house. Like when I got attacked by the emu, I was chasing its babies.
Well, yeah.
The casserie, fuck casseries. I was minding my own business, but not guilty on that count.
Yeah.
But but there's some crazy people out there, like Chris, for example.
So Chris is our token tradie.
Yeah.
He works as a tradie. Good on him.
He'll be featuring very shortly.
So he'll be on here a few times to give his unique insight of a working man working the tradie.
Yeah, working the trade game. Yeah. But he is one man I've met truly in my life who I can say has no fear of anything. And when he second judges stuff, that is stuff where I'm truly afraid. He goes, oh, no, she'll be right. I'm like, fuck no.
So anyway, conspiracy theories.
Back to we went on a bit of a segue.
Bit of a tangent.
We went down that fucking rabbit warren.
I think my conspiracy theory, and it is a bit of a different one. I think it's well known, but not completely as well known as, say, the fake moon landings or the flat Earth. Adolf Hitler, Second World War, allegedly, and the history will tell you, committed suicide in the bunker.
Yep.
With
his wife or girlfriend?
Wife. However, and then from that, I think the Russians got to him first, or the USSR got to him first. Said, yeah, here's the body. They burnt the body, right? And the only evidence recorded was of a burning body. And they also took, because I don't think like dental records and things like that weren't a thing back then. Like the technology
weren't as reliable.
Well, the technology to identify a person based on remains back then wasn't what it was today.
Yeah, of course.
However, they took the remains and it stayed in Russia, and then but the actual, if you actually look through history, there is no evidence of his body being ever found. There was a burning corpse that they said, that's Hitler, sweet, we got him, boys.
And he was known to use body doubles, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was also a big Nazi influence in Argentina. So I think the story goes was he fled to Argentina.
Right. Okay.
And then there was the creation of the Fourth Reich in Argentina. And if you go to Argentina, there are Nazi propaganda. There's Nazi fucking. I think they found stolen artifacts and everything that they took in the Second World War.
Well, there's rumored to be like heaps of one of his Mercedes. One of those cars is meant to be there. Lots of lost artwork and just general supplies and stuff. I mean, his idea was to take over the world. But yeah, like you're right, he did employ body doubles and that sort of stuff. So cool. I mean,
yeah, I think
he wouldn't be like today.
No. But so from what I've read and from what I've seen, things like that, there's obviously a lot of conflicting fucking accounts and all that sort of stuff. And when it's 45, so fucking 70 odd years ago, nearly.
Oh yeah, more than that. Yeah. 77 years ago.
Yeah. It's hard to find eyewitness accounts dating back that are recorded and all that sort of stuff. But the story goes, there was a young private or whatever. Hey, come here, sweet, bang, he's dead. That's the body that they found.
Right. Okay.
And the Hitler's like, all right, sweet, boys, I'm out. Fucking. Because they knew the war was lost 3 months before.
They'd already enforced their scorched earth policy.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, scorched earth is, every time you retreat, you lose ground, just fucking tortured. Scorched earth, it's in the name.
Yeah, so, and then what's also interesting is like Volkswagen and things like that. Like obviously Germany after the Second World War, kind of like what Russia will be soon enough with all the sanctions, economically was crippled.
Yeah, well they were after the First World War, and then that's what got us back.
However, you look at all the biggest manufacturing companies in the world, they're all German. Volkswagen owns a lot of manufacturers. They own Lamborghini, they own fucking Audi, they own fucking Porsche, a lot of things.
Right. Okay.
And Porsche is German anyway, but
yeah.
But how did Volkswagen get so big, being around in the Second World War, being German? And if you look at one of Hitler's, I think it was one of his advisors or one of his sort of like, third in charge 2IC, something like that, was on the council for Volkswagen.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And there was a whole like, hey, we're going to lose the war. Let's fucking start planning Germany's economic recovery now. Right. And there was a lot of shady deals done.
Well, I mean, they had this. What got them into the war was the economic recovery and just the sheer might of manufacturing. They were able to mass produce so much shit.
They were building tanks and driving them out the factory to the front line.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's incredible. Like I'm not pro Hitler. No. I'm not anti-Hitler.
Well, German engineering was excellent.
Yeah.
It was really. You look at the top manufacturers today. Obviously, a lot of it's German. Yeah. But back then, their weapons were superior. Their tanks were superior. Their planes were good.
The tanks, yeah. I mean, there was one plane they were worried about. I think it was the British Spitfire or something like that. But yeah, they had area superiority. They had their tanks would take out.
Well, you look at the Tiger versus the Sherman, huge mismatch.
Oh, absolutely. Just in the armament capability itself, yeah. And I'm like, gosh, they could put fuel in it. So, yeah, no, that's an interesting one. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's one that's not as well known, but it's still well known. But it's a high profile conspiracy theory.
See, one that gets me right is the Loch Ness monster.
I love that. I love it.
To me, looking at it straight facts, it's a tourist beauty.
Oh, it's not fucking real.
Yeah, no.
But where did it stem from?
Well, I watched a documentary on this fucking ages ago, and it said it could have come from this inlet into the loch, which runs out from the sea or whatever. And again, there's so much of the sea we don't understand or don't know, but just empty the fucking thing.
just drain the lock.
I mean, apparently it's so silty and so dirty and stuff that, but you know, divers and drones.
Well, the water's technically black. Like it's.
But they debunked the original Loch Ness monster because like the waves are this big, the monster's this big. Like fuck me, what was there, a tsunami or something or an earthquake in Scotland? But but see, it wants me to go there because imagine if you're the guy who sees it.
I absolutely am fascinated with the field of cryptozoology.
Yep.
So, you know, Bigfoot, Loch Ness, fucking the Kraken, like all that sort of stuff.
Yetis, that sort of shit.
That shit.
Yowies? Australians?
Well, you know, Australian Bigfoot, Yowie, which I think comes from the Dreamtime and indigenous sort of stories.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. It's so fascinating. I really, really, really want to believe it, but I don't.
No, I don't. But if I was ever in Scotland, well, I'm not going to go to Loch Ness, am I?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's exactly right. If I'm in the Appalachian Mountains in America, you bet your fucking bottom dollar I'm grabbing a fucking rifle and going looking for it. Like,
and a fucking decent quality camera, for fuck's sake.
Wear a fucking body camera or a fucking helmet cam.
Even a GoPro would do enough.
Yeah, you haven't got to delete them ones.
No. I mean, it was weird. I lost one of my SD cards coming home. For entertainment purposes, that's a joke. But like I'd go just in case.
I want to
take the day. You know, take a photo of myself, take a selfie behind the log.
Yeah.
Boom, his pops it up.
And I think it's going to get even worse and worse and worse with the technology evolving, the Photoshop's evolving, the technology to make it look so real that it can't be deciphered from reality.
That's what the problem these days. The technology is so good. Like, someone could take a photo of me, a photo of you, and then Photoshop me sucking you off. Next minute, I'm gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but...
It's not going to be receiving this.
I mean... That's the issue.
It's only gay if you don't take a good game afterwards.
Or no homo.
Yeah.
But yeah, Loch Ness Monster, only we can rule
out. What about Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, I mean... Well, how do we know that all the Neanderthals are extinct? You know?
Just as with the ocean, there's a lot of rainforests and forests that haven't been explored as well. The Amazon, is I think 80% unexplored.
Yeah.
And okay, what about the discovery of intelligent life predating to when we thought it was? Like there was in the Amazon, there was evidence of they would have like square corners and like it was
right. So like sort of like Aztec Mayan sort of era predating that, like evidence of tools.
Or they found a fucking hammer dating like 30,000 years ago, whatever it was. I could be wrong with that, but it was a long time
ago. Right. We'll fact check that.
Shanice, fact check it for me.
Yeah. So, well, they still can't tell us how the pyramids are made. You know, 15 to
aliens.
20. 20-ton blocks of sandstone. I don't care how many slaves you have. Like that's a big fucking rock. Like, and to go so high. How the fuck do you get like?
I mean, getting it. I mean, what? And then like some of the size of them is like the size of like your roof of a one-story house.
Yeah,
how the fuck do you get it? How the fuck do you get it on top? And then how do you do it another fucking 300 times to get it?
I mean,
that's strange.
The craftsmanship of the Sphinx.
Yeah.
No, this is a good one actually. The Sphinx is meant to represent the sentient beings that came and developed.
Yeah, you got Anubis.
And
crocodile dude, Ra, the eagle, and that's
because like as humans were obviously quite formative then. They're just like, this is what it looks like, and just drawing it to tell everyone.
Well, there's cave paintings found that depict some pretty weird shit.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't have an idea about. I'm sure there's cave drawings of like fucking objects coming down and like one would associate with a spacecraft.
But then the scientists or the smart wizards or whatever they want to call themselves, oh no, that was just a meteorite or whatever.
Well, how the fuck, like, like a meteorite, like sweet. I'm gonna just draw it. Like fuck,
Yeah.
you'd be fucking turned to glass. Like
You know, I mean, even just like a shooting star or something like, or a comet like Halley's Comet, perhaps. Like, still, I mean, I didn't have telly or nothing like that. They had to draw something, but I mean, the pyramids are fucking crazy, and there's still a large amount of undiscovered underground. They're still finding shit to
there's
this
certain
day.
crypts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Old tombs and stuff like that.
the thing is, like you see a lot in Hollywood or whatever, you think it's a bit of bullshit, but no, that shit is legit booby traps, man. Like,
Well, that's what I like about fucking like the story of the Kraken. Where did it come from? Obviously, you can draw correlation with the giant squid, things like that. But like, there's so many stories out there, or mythical being. Like, there's one like werewolves.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I'm fucking terrified of werewolves. Like, I fucking hate it. Like any movie, I fucking hate it. Like,
so come the waxing of the full moon, you're staying inside, fucking.
like I'm a grown fucking man. Like I'm highly proficient on fucking
in multiple weapon platforms, is what I say.
and I hate them. Like
Really?
I absolutely hate it. The idea of a canid creature, like a dog-like creature.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like
So
it
you like
scares
dogs?
the shit. Yeah, I love dogs.
Yeah.
But not when they're fucking 8 foot tall and fucking.
No,
You know.
it can turn you into them.
Not sure I believe that, but I mean, look, I'm not. I'm completely fucking convinced that they don't exist. Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not fucking thinking there's gonna be one outside.
No, no.
But there's always that fucking thing in the back of my mind, like, what if? And to top it off, I've got a story.
All right, hit me with it.
So this is the South of France, late 1700s in a town called Gévaudan,
Okay.
right? And there's the story of, it's called the Beast of Gévaudan,
Right.
And like I've got fucking goosebumps thinking about it. Like, I fucking hate it.
No one of like the hair on his arms are standing up right now.
And there was hundreds of people killed, and all the eyewitness reports was it was like a wolf-like creature.
Alright, okay.
That would laugh at you and that would, you know, and like, but there was actual maulings and like dead bodies found that were like decimated and fucking mutilated and things like that.
Right.
Right. And then there was to the point where the king of France at the time sent people there to hunt it. They were that convinced and terrified, sort of thing. And what makes it even fucking worse is they fucking shot the creature
Right.
and had no idea what it was. And the scientists had no idea what it was. It's fucked. Like,
right.
shit like that. Why can't that happen today? In remote places in the world, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
Well, one thing that fascinates me is untouched tribes, like, you know, the Amazonian tribes or
Oh, you got the Sentinel Islands.
yeah,
Like,
like
they're not touched by man. They killed a few fucking
yeah,
creatures.
yeah, exactly, because they
Yeah.
tried to convert them. And you know, people who we're in 2022, you know, functioning quite well, you know, functioning well enough for a society for a couple thousand years, right? But these people still live like it was 20,
Yeah.
30. Yeah, that fascinates me. Man. Like, you know, God, I'd love to just.
It's like a preserved fucking biome. Like they haven't got natural immunity to all the diseases that we have natural immunity to. Well, not immunity, but it won't fucking kill us.
Yeah.
Like to the point where you can't even make contact through the fear of spreading a disease that'll kill the whole fucking
Yeah,
population.
like common cold, the fuck COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they're fascinating. But yeah, I think like it's just insane. The whole fact that UFOs, right? Mathematically, it is almost impossible to say that we are not the only people in the universe, let alone the fucking solar system, like our galaxy, right? Our solar system, of course. Unless it binds to the planet X in Brew, whatever.
Martians.
Yeah, there's too much to unpack there. But I mean, how would you react? Breaking news, you know, near human life or even animals or superior intelligence life is found. Like we're watching out.
I'd be stoked.
Yeah, I think because if they have that sort of capacity and we've detected it, like, you know, deep space radio waves, whatever, they're not going to come in to pick a fight.
It's like me going and fucking blowing up an ant nest. Like, I do it for fun, but I wouldn't be compelled to do it as out of fucking necessity or anything like that.
Like if I spoke ant, I'd probably go there and try to talk to them. But if I didn't speak ant, like, fuck it, whatever. Pour some aluminium down it.
Yeah, just don't fucking come into my kitchen. And
That's exactly right. Get the fuck away from it. But yeah, I mean the like I said earlier, the Department of Defense released a whole heap of weird, and there's literally from footage of aircraft.
Yeah.
And the shit they just can't explain. But why hasn't it happened recently? Is it because
How much do you think happens that we don't know about? Like, the world's a big place. You know what I mean? Like, you go out every day, you see someone that you've never seen before that has been living in the same town as you, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a small population, right? You don't know what he's fucking seen that morning. You don't know what he did that. You don't know. So there's like outside of maybe 50 meters of your personal space, you don't fucking have a clue what's going on.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And there's so many places that are remote, desolate that no one has even visited before in some cases.
If we don't understand enough about ourselves, but just to think like the vast expanses and like space fucks me up. Like when I start thinking about space, man.
That's a fucking rabbit hole.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you go down that one, which is so big, so empty, but so full. Like
it's crazy. Like that's my other passion: cryptozoology and just space. Like
Well,
speaking of space, like breakthroughs may be incoming with the launch of the James Webb Telescope, Deep Space Telescope. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I was really excited for that. I even watched the launch live. I was that excited.
Yeah, you got it pretty early. I watched the stage 3 where all the what was it?
The sun shield.
The sun shield. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, and then they did their bioptic testing or whatever, and
well, they reckon June, July it's going to be functional.
Fully functional.
There's their aligning mirrors and things like that.
Yeah.
And they've got a few like key sort of systems that they want to look at. There was a planet, I forget the name, but I'm sure you guys have heard this. You'll know what it is. They think they have detected artificial light coming from a planet.
Right. Okay.
That's close. I think it's within 10 light years.
Right. Yep.
And obviously it's got the scanners that can detect methane and things like that, the gases that would be produced from life on a planet.
Yeah. See, there's something that close neighbouring. Think about in another galaxy. Like
and then you times that fucking number by 1 million.
Oh, more than that.
And you won't even reach halfway. And it's expanding.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just think that James Webb Telescope is going to be very exciting. We're going to see some exciting stuff from it,
And not only that, but what it finds will then promote development of something else that'll go even deeper and go even more in depth, say it finds something, communication methods to reach out.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, I don't know. It's crazy. It's such a broad topic, but like each point of the topic, you could just go for. You can
go. We'll have to do a space focus. We'll do a space focus. We can guarantee it. We'll do some research. We'll get Shanice to fact check everything, and then we'll do a space focused podcast because that'll be a fucking wild ride. I tell you what.
Yeah, that'll be good.
But yeah, I think
my brain hurts from like all of this.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, other than flat Earth, Loch Ness Monster, fake moon landing, I mean, it's all plausible. China controlling the weather, no, sorry.
Well, there was a story of a military development, and it was funded to use natural disasters as a weapon. Like there was like a tsunami creation machine and things like that.
Well, in the 2008, I think it was the Beijing Olympics, they actually shot stuff out of artillery cannons to stop clouds. Dead set.
Did you see the fucking explosion in Beirut?
No.
It was overcast. Well, not quite overcast, but it was cloudy.
Yeah.
And the pressure wave from the explosion, because it was fucking huge, made it clear. It just dissipated all the clouds. Yeah. And you can see it.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy. I mean, you see that with nuclear blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I've let big explosions off on like misty sort of weather, and you see the mist just go fucking, and you see the shockwave sort of thing.
Yes, well, because like the water particles, they get
the fuck out.
Yeah, they're non-tamperable. They just
All right. Well, to end this, podcast because it's been a good one. We're over an hour now.
Yep.
The last topic I want to talk about is got to do with space and asteroids.
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to bring up.
So there is I think it's an asteroid
It is an asteroid, yes.
called Apophis.
Yeah.
Right, and there's been multiple conspiracy theories surrounding this asteroid. I think they say it's about as big as the Eiffel Tower or something.
Yes, so it's approximately 340 meters in diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a big fucking hunking
Yeah, it's
chunk of space rock.
big, yeah. Moving at like 8 times the speed of sound.
Rock, probably like
Yeah,
more
probably-
than that.
probably more, yeah, 11.
I think it's thousands of meters a second or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is stupid. And it's on a at one point in time it was on a collision course with Earth, and then there was things that had, no, it won't be till 2029, it won't be till 2036, it won't be till 2063, whatever it was.
2068.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all assuming it doesn't take a deflection.
That's true.
And shit collides in space all the time. Look at the moon, it's riddled.
Yeah. So, on that, interestingly enough, I was researching it just the other day. NASA has released something saying it's going to be a near miss or a close Earth object. However, they have developed a planetary defense system, and it's not like what we see in Independence Day 2 or anything cool like that, but they're simulating and they're doing the calculations to deflect something huge hitting Earth. And I think conspiracy-wise, there's a lot of private research done on this. It's meant to hit on April 13, 2029. That's right, Shanice? Yeah, April 13, 2029. Yeah, so that's fucking hectic.
That is fucking hectic.
So that's like 7 years and a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, well, there was also, and I don't put much to people predicting the future and people predicting fucking chaotic events.
Because how many fucking apocalyptic events have we lived through, you know?
Yeah, so I don't put much of a basis on this, or much of a fucking foundational sort of basis on this, but there was a bloke who was apparently had predicted the World Trade Center. He predicted a few eruptions and things like that.
Right.
And he also had a vision, or whatever you want to call
whatever
it.
he fucking did, yeah.
And it was him running from an asteroid, and it was the world being engulfed in flames and things like that. And he woke up and he heard out loud the word Apophis.
Alright, okay. And that's not a word you hear in every commentary.
No, Apophis is the god of chaos, I think it is.
God of chaos, yes,
Yeah,
correct. In Greek mythology.
Yeah. And now he's gone on this tirade about how, doomsday is this. Like everyone fucking does, or whatever it was.
When the CERN hijacked atom was going to fire up and we were going to suck into a black hole in 2012, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I learnt about it, and I did my research. But there's so many things about people, other scientists doing their own calculations, thinking, hey, no, it's going to hit. Others will be like, no, it's nothing. And
yeah.
So the conspiracy theory goes, the main one that I've heard is that NASA knows that it's going to hit, but so they're scrambling to figure out how to fucking stop it. You can't shoot shit at it. You can't land shit on it. You can't land thrusters on it to blow it somewhere.
It's not fucking an episode of Armageddon. The movie Armageddon.
That's like trying to fucking throw a tennis ball at a bullet. It's not going to happen.
I mean...
But no, it's crazy. It's something that I think people don't even know about. You go down the shops with hey, anyone heard of Apophis? Everyone will be like, what the fuck's that?
No, it is predicted. I don't understand how they can predict where that thing. It's somewhere between the Black Sea and the Arctic Ocean or something like that. So it's meant to hit the northern part of the planet.
The story I read was near Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's
you look at trajectory, you do a bunch of fucking nerd maths. And where they use letters and shit.
Once they started putting letters and brackets and maths, where shit started getting underlined, see you later. But that's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's so that's my fucking conspiracy theory of the day.
The one that you're buying to?
The shit that keeps me up at night. Stuff like that.
When you're in the shower, you're in some deep thought.
Yeah. So I think we'll end it there. I think there's a lot to go through, a lot to digest. It's all over the place, and
thanks for listening to our yarns. again, always happy to be. I'm
Yeah.
100% kind of tip of the day, kids. Wear helmets while riding motorcycles. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and if you see a cassowary, don't throw a fucking bin bag at it.
If you see a cassowary, just like don't even approach it. Don't even approach it. 100% just fuck off the other way because those things are fucking, oh god, they're terrifying.
They're not fun.
Thanks guys, thanks for listening. As always, if you enjoyed the content, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.